Okay, now what we need to do is find a way to get rid of all these NPCs that are out here. And one of the classic ways is to be able to shoot something at them. So we're going to create a projectile here real quick. And from there, we're going to start building out the ability for our player character to launch a projectile at our NPCs and make them go away. So I'm going to work inside my AI folder here, since that's the character. I'm sorry. I'm going to work inside of my variant side scroller folder, because that's where my third person character is right now. So what I'm going to do is just right click in here. We're going to blueprint class. We're going to make it just a regular old actor. This one's going to be BP underscore player projectile. Okay. And we're just going to pop into that player projectile, and we'll need a couple things real fast. We're going to need a sphere, and then we're also going to need a sphere collision. There we go. And I want to make sure I know which one this one is, so I am going to give it the name sphere collision. And let's see here. Here's our sphere collision. And I think we want to make that just a little bit larger. I can just go over here and do it all together if I want. Should get us out. Well, let's see. I'm not actually seeing it right now. Might still be small, but let's go ahead and take it up here. And it should, there we go. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to move it outside. There we go. But it is a good idea to nest them inside of one another. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring that back down here. Leave that as is. Okay. So we have a sphere and we have a sphere collision. These are going to be doing two different things for us. The sphere collision on the outside, the main thing we want to look for on that one as far as its collision, is that it is set for overlap, because this is going to be sending information from this actor over to another, anything else it touches. So other part that we want to look at here is our sphere, and our sphere collision is going to give us just blocks. So looks like everything is set up well here. The only thing we might want to do is, okay, just make sure generate overlap events is highlighted there. One more thing, I'm just going to throw it in there, and I'm not going to turn it on just yet, but when it starts messing up, I just want to show you this is why we're doing this. Under our block right here is this advanced section. It'll probably show up like this. Let me go ahead and just get out of that. And I'm just going to go down to it. In that collision section, we have a little advanced block right here. And this, use CCD, what this is going to do is it's going to make it so it's able to detect fast-moving things. So that's one thing we're actually going to need to do right now, is add some projectile movement. So we're going to go back over, and we're going to do projectile movement, just adding that in. And we probably want to make this thing actually look dangerous. So I like using the laser projectile, or I'm sorry, the laser pointer for this one, because it's pretty easy to see, and it looks like it would hurt you if it got near you. So I'm going to look for that real quick. Obviously, y'all can use whatever you like. If you even want to put a particle system on the end of it so it trails some fire behind it or something like that, would probably be pretty cool too. Let me just put in laser. There we go. Yeah, it looks kind of like fire. Why not? And that's pretty much everything we need. As far as the projectile movement, we need to specify how fast we want it to go. So I'm going to say about 2,000, and we'll put set the max speed at 2,000 as well. So it'll pop out at 2,000, and it should keep traveling. I'm not really going to change the gravity at this point in time, because I want to see it drop. But if you want to, you can change the gravity scale right here, and you can just have it go sailing straight across the screen if you want to. All right, so that should be everything. We can check this out right now by just dropping it into the space where your player is going to be. And let's see, I'm going to make sure this is lined up so it's going to actually go someplace. There we go. I'll put it up kind of high so we can see where it goes. All right, I'm going to hit play. Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. So we do know it fires in the right direction. It is going to be kind of angled. So I might lower the gravity on it just a little bit, just to make it sail a little bit farther. I can also increase the max speed if I wanted to, or the initial speed, but I think in this case I'm just going to take it down to about 0.7. We'll just see what that looks like. All right, we'll see that in just a second. For right now, what I want to also do is get it firing off from our character. So right now, I need to open up my side-scrolling character. That's one you guys are probably using as well. And I need to implement a little shooting mechanic on this one. So to do that, I've got to make a new input for this. So we've got a lot of actions and events, things here, but we'll need to make a new one for firing this off. But while we're here, let's take a look. Your character may look a little different from mine. I decided to keep this guy, kind of dig him as a character. I'm going to probably have him shooting out fireballs or something out of his belt. I think that's probably what I'll shoot for. And that'll also keep it about the right height to be able to hit most NPCs that we're going to come up against. So while I'm here, what I want to do is go up to the add, and I'm going to add a new scene component. Scene component cannot be seen in the game, so it's a good way to set up where you might want to spawn things. So right now I think the ball that I'm spawning is a little bit bigger than this, so I am probably going to need to shrink it down. We'll take care of that in here in just a second. So let's go back into our content drawer. We're going to look for our input. So for in our blueprints right now, we'll probably want to go back out to the variant side scroller folder, and we're going to take a look at input here. And right here under actions, we have attack, drop, interact, mover. Attack's for something else. We're going to do one called launch. So I'm just going to highlight this one, right click on it, duplicate it, and we're going to call this one, well, we'll call it launch. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so now we have this, and we're going to go back over to our input into our IMC setup here. This is going to be for our input controller, and I have attack right here for this mouse. I can set up another one as well. This one will be for let's see here, we're going to do attack. We have launch right there. I want to make this one the left mouse button as well. Shouldn't have any issues with that. You can have a lot of things share the same buttons. Left mouse button, there we go. And that's really all we need there. I can go ahead and close that one out. And let's go back to our content drawer. Actually, no, I think we already have our BP character up. Yep, we do right there. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to rename this scene component that we just put in here, and I'm going to rename that launch point. Okay, and let's go into our event graph, and we're going to look for event IA. Let's see, we called it launch. There we go. Let's zoom in here. This is what it looks like. And we have some other options here as well, which we're going to be using a little bit later. From the triggered side of this, we're going to spawn actor from class. That's going to be our projectile. So let's just type in projectile here. BP player projectile. That'll look good. And we need a transform. That means it needs to know where should it be spawning. So we're going to grab the launch point right here, and we're going to get transform. Okay, and we want to get the world transform for this one because it's going to be spawning into the world. Okay, and from here, what we're giving to this transform is we're giving it a vector where it needs to in what direction it's facing, a rotator, we also have that, and it also gives it scale. So if we're going to have this show up at a different size, we probably need to resize this one. So I want to go ahead and go into the sphere here. This should size everything at once, so we might need to watch the sphere collider around it, but we should be able to scale it without too much trouble. So let's just watch here as we scale it down. Okay, that's getting to about half. Okay, let's go back into the level and see what kind of thing we're looking at now. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay, it's not just a massive sphere that's just flying out of there, so it looks like it might have come out of that belt. So I'm going to pop back over to my, let's see, we got our projectile. Projectile's pretty much taken care of. We don't necessarily need that right now. And yep, there we go. So I think I might just close that. Let's see here with our character. We're back into our side-scrolling character right here, and we have it triggered. We're going to spawn that projectile, and really that's about it. That's all we have to really worry about. So let's see how this is working so far. Okay, I hit play. Okay, now whenever it's firing out from where I'm at, it just kind of, it looks like fire because it's shooting out a bunch of stuff, which is kind of cool, but it's not really shooting it in the direction I'm facing, right? They're just kind of shooting off in different directions. Like I'm even spraying them out in other directions. So we need to figure out what's going on there. It's kind of cool, but this isn't really what we're looking for. So let me pop out of this. Okay, so we want to make sure we're looking at our character right now. I think one of the issues was I had this launch point set up where the X was turned over to the side. So what it was doing was it was launching back this way. So if you look at it this time, you can see the X, which is where the transform is going to say like, well, you probably want to go in this direction. It aligns with the X. So when I looked at my character, it was shooting off here to the left. So we just got to go up here and rotate it 90 degrees. Okay. Now when we launch these things, yep. Now it's just a hail of fire, and you can get that little special effect as you turn, but I think we're going to fix that too. All right. So I don't want this thing to fire constantly like that. So when I go back into the character here, I'm going to change it so it only fires every time I press the mouse button down. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a Boolean right here with a little branch. So we got a branch, and we're going to make a new variable here called launched. No, we don't want to put that in there. Yeah, but it's just a Boolean. Okay. And we're going to grab it and add it in here. Here's where the fun part comes in. Whenever we are done with this, we fired the projectile. What we want to do is we want to change launched to false. So after it's done, well, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to change it to false. So we have to let up on the mouse. So I'm going to drop this in here. Let's do that one more time. We're going to do set, and we're going to change launch to false. Now up here, we're wanting to check for true, obviously, because we're going in here. So whenever we go back to our variable, we want to compile this so we can set the initial value to true. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure that this is working the way we want it to. We have it set for that. Let's go ahead and here. Okay, I can only shoot the fiery ball one time. So now we need to set it up so we can do it more than one time. Okay, so we're back inside of our character here. And from when we let off on the mouse, that's going to be canceled, I believe. So let's try that. And we're going to set launched here. We're going to set it back to true. Okay, so we're going to do that. And this should make it so we have to keep tapping the mouse to be able to fire over and over again. Let's see. No, it's not completed. Let's go back to it. Let's see. We have triggered. Let's have completed. Yeah, let's try that instead. Okay. All right, let's try it one more time. All right, there we go. Now only when I press down the mouse key will it fire out stuff. Now I can still do it pretty fast, so you could put a delay in there if you wanted to. But for right now, this will at least get you to the point where you can start making some changes based on what you want to do. Okay? And pretty soon I'm going to be able to take these guys. Ah, they're running after me. Okay. So we're going to end it right there. In the next video, we're going to make it so you can destroy your NPCs.